It's day 40 of the 1 year fast. Come a really long way, 40 days already. I'm feeling really positive about completing the 1 year fast. And this week I fasted on Monday, I fasted yesterday, and I'm going to fast again tomorrow, which is Friday. I now have 40 videos on YouTube. All I'm told are absolutely atrocious, and I can live with that. They're not meant to be curated, they're just meant to be raw, genuine articulations of how I'm feeling on that particular day. Again, so we can come back at the end of the 1 year fast and say, okay, Alfie on this particular day was doing well or not so well. We can try and discern some mental health indicators, psychological indicators, emotional indicators, all of that good stuff. So that's their intention, not trying to impress, just trying to be as honest as I can. So now we're deeper into the 1 year fast. I want to start thinking about probably more data. As I say, I'm going to get the new ketone reader, hopefully going to arrive this weekend. I'm also going to get a blood-based ketone reader just as a backup, as an alternative, so we can really drill into any levels of ketosis. I'm going to order a new smartwatch. As I explained previously, I lost my last smartwatch whilst traveling, so I'm going to buy a new one. I want to add more markers onto the dashboard. So there's, again, more of a holistic picture come the end of the 1 year fast. I'm also intending to increase the number of VO2 max, RMR, DEXA scans, more of a yardstick as we go along and come to the end of the 1 year fast. So there's more data to look at. Either validate the efficacy of the 1 year fast, find some positives, or even highlight some negatives. And obviously the more data we have, the better we can do that. And briefly stepping into that moment of reverie, as I mentioned, one of the main purposes of the videos is for us to have a reference point around mental, psychological, emotional, potentially even spiritual health. And so just to look in as a window and say, okay, Alfie is doing X, Y, Z on this particular day, and we can discern some knowledge from that. As I mentioned quite a few videos back, I've been fasting since I was 16. So I was 16 when I first decided to engage a 3-day fast. I was completely unprepared for what I was doing. I just had this compulsion. I'm not quite sure where it came from. Well, I had my suspicions, but we can maybe get into a later stage. But I had a compulsion to fast. I was 16. I actually did drink tea and coffee, and I did have milk in that tea and coffee during that 3-day fast. So you can argue whether that's a genuine 3-day fast, but that's what I did. And I kind of suffered a bit, got headaches, immense cravings. I really had to persevere and push myself to complete the 72 hours. And then I continued to fast. Definitely every Sunday I would fast for 18 to 24 hours. And then it developed into 2 days, 3 days, even up to a week of fasting, maybe every quarter. So I'd do that continuously. And I felt good about it, kind of kept it to myself. And then I decided to go and see a herbalist because I was just concerned maybe I needed to, during a fast, take some kind of, not kind of prescribed medication, but something that could help flush maybe my organs. So I went to see a herbalist, and I asked the herbalist, look, can you make me a concoction? I'm fasting. Whilst I fast, I want to take the concoction just to try and help cleanse maybe my kidneys, my liver, any of the organs, just as a cleansing mechanism. And the herbalist was quite, I guess, distraught, almost angry with the concept of me fasting. And I persisted, just explained, look, I'm going to do it, and trying to explain the reason why. And in the end, he kind of came round and he made me a concoction. And then subsequent to that, he actually said, actually, Alfie, I now understand why you're doing this. And we got into the conversation around fasting and nature. Because clearly, when we look back in time, what we're doing today from a food consumption perspective is pretty alien to our nature. Our nature is to forage, and we have moments of scarcity, we have moments of abundance, and we work within that ebb and flow of nature. And so I honestly believe that fasting is really aligned with nature. It's a natural phenomenon that we should really look to nurture in ourselves. Not just have this continued stream of abundancy and clearly low quality abundancy in terms of what we consume. Think more around just working with nature, taking moments of reflection and kind of abstinence, and have moments of abundance and scarcity, and just working as we would as natural beings and being part of that creation. And so I was having this conversation with a herbalist, and we kind of got into that realm, and it became a really good conversation. And I believe the herbalist really came around to the whole concept of fasting. And this was back in the 90s, early 90s, maybe mid 90s. So I really believe there's a big conversation to be had around fasting, the environment, nature, thinking about creation, thinking about Gaia, thinking about how we are a part of the whole natural flow of existence. And we're not separate. We're not creatures that naturally enter a supermarket with a trolley and pile all this pseudo-nutrition into a basket to take home and consume. That's not who we are as creatures. Any of us, humans or any other type of creature, we are part of creation, and we need to work with creation. And I honestly believe that fasting enables us to get closer to nature, to be part of that overall synergistic existence. I feel there's a big alignment between fasting and the natural world. Thinking about moments of scarcity, moments of abundance, thinking about seasonality, thinking about the way that creation ebbs and flows, and trying to be part of that, rather than just being inculcated with the belief that you go into a supermarket with a trolley and you push a trolley and you have a constant flow of, and probably an excess of needs in terms of consumption. There's probably a book in that somewhere. Anyway, so so day 40, a massive day, a really big day as moving along the 1 year fast, clearly over 10% of the way through the 1 year fast. And I don't want to wish the 1 year fast away, but clearly, there is a goal, and that goal is 365 days. But I want to enjoy those days, and I don't want to wish them away. But certainly, day 40 feels a momentous day, a big step. And I'm looking forward to stepping into fasting tomorrow. Again, this week I fasted on Monday, Wednesday, and I will fast again tomorrow, which is Friday. So 3 separate days. Next week, which will be week 7 of the 1 year fast. And again, my weeks go from Sunday through to Saturday. Next week, I'm going to do a 1 day fast, so a 24-hour fast, and also a 48-hour fast. Probably goes along the lines of fasting on Monday, and then maybe Thursday and Friday. So feeling good. Day 40. Moving on. Thank you.